Hi, we will just derive the quadratic formula real quick. So I started with the quadratic equation in standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a is not equal to 0. And then remember we want to get to the quadratic formula, so we want to go x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So we're going to start that, and we're going to start by getting our constant on one side. So we'll just subtract c from both sides. And then we also have to make sure a is 1, so we're going to divide everything by a. So I have x squared plus b over ax, that x should be up here, sorry, equals negative c over a. Our next step then is just to add half of b squared to both sides. So half of b would be b over 2a. So we'll just take that quantity squared. So I'm going to write x squared plus b over a x plus, it's been a while since I've used this writing tool. So b over 2a is half of b, and we'll square it. And then we must also do that to this side. And we're going to end up needing to simplify this right side. So I'm going to get the denominators to be the same. So just right off here to the side, first of all, I just have negative c over a. I will distribute that 2. So I have b squared over 4a squared. And then I will just go ahead and make the same denominator. I guess I could use different colored pens. All right, so we will need a 4 and a squared. So we need a 4 up here and an a. So now when I combine those two, I have negative 4ac plus b squared, and that's over 4a squared. On the left side, I can just factor that into two binomials because this is a square quadratic. So that is just going to be, let me get my pen, x plus b over 2a squared. And then we're just going to solve it for x, because as you can see, we want x all by itself. So I'm going to start that process by taking the square root of both sides. I don't know why I like black so much. I think I'll use green. Yep, okay. So that leaves on the left side x plus b over 2a. And on the right side, then we have plus or minus, and we have negative, I'm going to rewrite it as b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. And this is all under a square root. So I'm going to simplify that a little bit by just taking the square root of the denominator right away. Then that, I'll just rewrite it. So now we have x plus b over 2a equals plus or minus square root on just the numerator, b squared minus 4ac. It's looking a lot closer to the quadratic formula now. And then we'll just take the square root of 4a squared, so we have 2a. Then we're just going to subtract our b over 2a on both sides. And I'm going to rewrite that as it in front of, so it's going to look a lot like the quadratic formula now. X equals negative, right now we still have it over 2a, so negative b over 2a plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4a squared over 2a. And then, as you know, we're just going to combine that addition so that we have the same denominator. So that will be our final answer. Oops, our goal here. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared. That looks terrible, minus 4ac all over 2a, and we did it.